Hi everyone, we continue on the review 3. So this is video 2. So here we were comparing two fractions, and I was saying that if I compare two fractions, they should be the same. Otherwise I'm not able to compare. Okay, so they must be the same. Otherwise I have 5 apple and I have 7 oranges, and they are not the same as each other. How can I compare them? So okay, so let's read the process. However, I don't memorize process. I want you to learn. Okay. Determine the least common multiple for the denominators. Okay. Because I have denominators, so I call it least common denominators, because I have fractions. Okay. Because we are working with fractions, not just two numbers. We are working with fractions. So we call it least common denominator. So I'm finding least common multiple for denominators, and I'm naming it least common denominators instead of least common multiple for denominators. So I call it least common denominators. So it means I am finding least common multiple for denominators. And then I have to change both denominators to least common denominator. How do I change? I multiply both denominators with numbers. Okay, so if I multiply denominators with any number, I have to multiply the top. Otherwise, I am changing my fraction, and that's wrong. So I need to have equivalent fraction. Okay, so again, the way that you use to find the least common multiple is yours. You can use any way you want, any way that I talked about in video 1. You can use your any way. So you can use your own way, but if the least common denominator is the same as me, so I accept. Okay, so my way is this. What is my denominators? Okay, 8 and 10. So I need least common denominator, which is least common multiple for these two numbers. I call it least common denominators because here I have fractions. Okay, I want to emphasize that it is for denominators. Okay, 8 and 10. So I factor both numbers. This is 2 power 3 and this is 2 multiple 5. I factor both numbers. Then for each prime number, I use the one with highest exponent. Between 2 and 2 power 3, which one I use? Just this one. And for 5, I just use 5 because I just have one 5. Okay, so it's 2 power 3 multiple 5, which is 4d. Oh, okay. 4d is least common denominator. Okay, so how can I change 8 to 4d? I have to change 8 to 4d. I don't want to see 8 and 10. I want to see 4d for both denominators. Okay, so I multiply this one with 5 and I multiply this one with 4. Oh, okay. I see 8 and 10. I don't want to see 8 and 10. I want to see 4d. I want to have the same denominators. Then I have like fractions, and then I can compare them because they are like each other. Okay, so I multiply one of them with 5, one of them with 4, but I have to multiply top and bottom. Okay, so I multiply 5 here, I multiply 4 there, because then I can say I multiply the same number with top and bottom, so means I'm not changing my fraction. I have equivalent fraction. I have the same number here. Okay, so I can maybe use this and this. Okay, so it is 25 over 40. It is 28 over 40. Okay, so which one is bigger? 28 over 40, right? Okay, so again, I see two fractions. I want to compare them. They are not like each other. One of them apple, one of them orange. They have different denominators. I need to find least common denominator. Least common denominator is least common multiple for both denominators. I use my own way. My own way is I factor them. For each prime numbers, I use the one with highest exponent. And then I multiply both denominators with numbers to change it to 4d. So one of them 8 has to go to 4d, so I multiply by 5. One of them 10 has to go to 4d, so I multiply by 4. I multiply top and bottom. Of course, I have to change top as well. Otherwise, I'm changing my fraction. That's wrong. I need to have equivalent fraction. I need to multiply top and bottom for each fraction with the same number. Remember? And then when I have the same denominator, I can compare. One of them 28 apple, one of them 25 apple. I can compare. Okay, so that's larger. Okay, so now I continue on the next one. Oh, 6 and 8. 6 and 8, they are not like each other. So I use least common denominator 6 and 8, which is least common denominator 2 multiple 3 and 2 cubed. So I use this one, 2 cubed, not 2, because I use with the highest exponent. I use this one as well. Okay, so for each prime number, I'll multiply with the highest exponent I see. So 3 times 8, which is 24. Oh, okay, 24. So here I multiply with 4. Here I multiply with 3. Because both of them has to be 24. But I need to multiply top as well. I need to multiply top as well. For each fraction, top and bottom the same. Otherwise, I'm changing the fraction. Remember, both fractions, for each fraction, top and bottom the same number. Okay, so it is 20 over 24, 18 over 24. Which one is larger? This one, this one. Don't use calculator just to go to decimal numbers. I don't accept. 5 over 6 is more than 6 over 8. How about the other one? Okay, 9 and 6. They are not like each other. Least common denominator 9 and 6, which is least common denominator 3 squared and 2 multiple 3, which is 3 squared multiple 2. I use this one. Between 3 squared and 3, I use the one with highest exponent, and I use this one. Okay, 2, just 2. Okay, so it is 18, right? So it is, okay, 9. So I want to change 9 and 6 to 18. For one of them, I multiply by 2. For one of them, I multiply by 3. But I have to multiply both fractions, top and bottom, with the same number. Otherwise, I'm changing my fraction. If I just change 14 over 9 to 14 over 18, that's wrong. So here is 28 over 18 and 30 over 18, and this is larger. So this is larger then. 10 over 6 is larger. Okay? So now I go to the next. You can stop. So, okay, so there is no next here. So the process is you use least common denominator for both fractions, for both denominators, and find the number. Then multiply both denominators to change it to least common denominator, to change it to the same number. But you multiply for each denominator, you have to multiply top and bottom. Okay? So now you go here. So adding and subtracting with unlike denominators. Okay, so when we had like denominators, it was very easy because we just added. So we just subtracted. That's it. But right now, I don't have like denominators. Okay, what is 2 over 5 plus 3 over 10? It is not 3 plus 3 over 5 plus 10. No, 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 no. I know it's very funny. I know. But sometimes, just maybe once, I saw this mistake. Okay, so I want to emphasize and I want to talk about it, that they don't even think about. Okay, so we don't do top and top, bottom, bottom. No, we have to make them the same. How do we make them the same? Yes, I know. I need to make them like fractions. So how? I need to change both denominators then. Okay, so what should I do? Okay, I find least common denominators for both denominators. Okay, so least common denominator for 5 and 10. So it is least common denominator 5 and 2 times 5, which is 5 and 5. I use 5, 2 I use 2, so this is 10. Oh, 10. So for one of them, I don't need to do any change. How about for the other? For the other, yes, I need to do change. So I do 3 over 5 multiple 2 because I need to change it to 10. For the other one is plus 3 over 10. I don't need to do any changes. But something is missing. I multiply one of them in the denominator. I multiply with 2. I have to multiply top as well. Okay, so what is the answer? The answer is 6 over 10 and 3 over 10. Now I can say I have 6 apples, I have 3 apples, I have 6 plus 3 apples, which is 9 apples. 9 over 10. Done. Okay? So if you have like fractions, you just add top, you just subtract top. Done. But if you have not like fractions, if they are unlike, you have to make them like. How do you make them like? So you find least common denominator and change both denominators to the same number. When you change any denominator, you have to change the top as well. You have to multiply top as well. How about here? What is least common denominator between 8 and 4 and this? I need to use the prime number with the highest exponent. So this is the answer. The highest exponent. I just see 2. So 2 power 3 and 2 power 2 and 2 power 4. 4 is the highest. Okay, so I use 16. So what should I do here? Okay, so I have 7 over 8. I do multiple 2 plus 3 over 4. I do multiple 4 plus 1 over 16. Just 1 over 16. I don't need to do any change. Okay, something is missing. I multiple 2 here. I have to multiple top as well. I multiple 4 there. I have to multiple top as well, which is 14 over 16 plus 12 over 16 plus 1 over 16, which is 27 over 16. How many 16 I have? 1. And what is left? 11. So, if I tell you go to mixed fraction, you have to do it. Okay? How about here? You can stop the video, do it on your own, and then check my work. Maybe I made a mistake. Tell me. Least common denominator for 5 and 8 and 20. So I have 5. I have 5, which is prime number. I don't factor. This is 2 power 3 and this is 2 power 2 times 5. Okay. Between 2 times 2 power 2 and 2 power 3, which one I use? 2 power 3. I use the one with highest exponent. Between 5 and 5, which one I use? Just 5. 5 power 1. So it is 40. Okay? So I have 2 over 5, but I need to change 5 to 40. 5 times 8 plus 3 over 8. I have to multiply with 5 plus 7 over 20 times 2. Something is missing. I have to multiply top as well for all of them. What I did bottom, I need to do top. For 1, I did 2 bottom, so 2 top, 5 bottom, 5 top, 8 bottom, 8 top. And then the answer is 16 over 40 plus 15 over 40 plus 14 over 40, which is 45 over 40. How many 40 I have there? 1. What is left? 5 over 40. Can I simplify? Yes, I can simplify. I can do, even from the beginning, I can say it is, am I right? 14, 15, 16, So 30, 45, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45. Yeah, so can I cancel? Yes, it is 9 over 8. I can cancel 5 and 5. So it is 1 over 8 then. When I can simplify, I do it. If I can go to mixed fraction, I do it. Okay? How about the next? A student weighted 2 over 15 gram HCl in a dish which weighted 7 over 11 gram. What is the total? When I say total, means addition. Total means add. Both of them are gram. Perfect. So I don't need to do any conversion. And you don't see conversion here because we didn't teach you. 2 over 15 plus 7 over 11. Okay. I need to know least common denominator. So 2 over 15 plus 7 over 11. So, okay. So what is this common denominator? Okay, least common denominator. Do I have a space here? Yes, I go here. Okay, so least common denominator. 15 is 3 multiple 5 and 11 is just 11. Okay, how many prime number I see? 3, 5, 11. I write 3, 5, 11 with highest exponent. I just see highest exponent as 1. Okay, so 3, 5, 11, which is 15 times 11, which is 165. Okay, so I do 2 over 15 multiple 11 plus 7 over 11 multiple 15, but I need to multiple top as well. This is the most important part. Many students, they find least common denominator correctly, they multiple bottom correctly, but they forget they have to multiple top as well. So it is 22 over 165 plus 105 over 165, which is 127 over 165 gram. Make sure to write the conclusion sentence. Don't write the answer is. No. So the total weight for this and the dish is 127 over 165 grams. And that's acceptable because it's informative. Your conclusion sentence should be informative. Okay? How about subtraction? Subtraction the same. The same. I have to find least common denominator and I have to do the same thing. Okay? Okay, what is least common denominator between 9 and 11? Okay, for 9 is 3 squared, for this is 11, which is 99. Okay, so 7 over 9, so I multiply by 11, minus 3 over 11, I multiply by 9, but I need to multiply top as well. Okay, you find least common denominator between denominators, maybe you have more than 2, then multiply each denominator to go to that least common denominator number, but you multiply bottom, you have to multiply with top for each fraction. So now it is 77 over 99 minus 27 over 99, which is 50 over 99. Yes, done. because I have to subtract. How about next? 16, 8, 4. We found 16 before. So least common denominator between 16 and 8 and 4 is least common denominator between 2 power 4 and 2 power 3 and 2 power 2, which is 16. 15 over 16, no change, minus 3 over 8 times 2 minus 1 over 4 times 4. Okay, but I multiple bottom, I have to multiple top as well. I have to multiple top as well. 15 over 16 minus 6 over 16 minus 4 over 16. Oh, I have the same thing. I have 15 apple. I eat 6 of them first, and then I eat 4 of them next. So it is 15 minus 6 minus 4 divided by 16, which is 9 minus 5, 4 maybe. Oops. Yes, which is 5 over 16. I checked with my calculator because sometimes when I'm doing online, I feel my brain is not cooperating because I'm talking and nobody is here. It's just very crazy. So that's why I'm checking on my calculator. Okay? That's great. So, again, word problem. You read word problem to understand what's going on. Then you redo it mathematically and then find the answer. So before chemotherapy, a patient's tumor had a mass of 5 over 7 kilogram. After each week of treatment, the tumor's mass was reduced by 1 over 8. What was the mass after 4 weeks? Okay? So, when people do chemotherapy, they want to reduce. Okay, they want to reduce the mass of the tumor, of course. Okay, so before it was this, and after the treatment was reduced by, it didn't say reduced to. If it says reduced to, means this is old mass and this is the new mass. Read the question carefully. Before chemotherapy, the tumor is this. After each week of after each week of treatment, the tumor mass was reduced by. This means this reduced by this amount each week. It doesn't mean reduced to. If I say reduced to, I say, okay, I have 4 kilogram and it's reduced to 2 kilogram. Means I go from 4 to 2. No, it's not like that. I don't go from 5 over 7 to 1 over 8. No. It is 5 over 7. I have to understand the question. First, you read the question and understand the question. What was the mass after 4 weeks? Means 1 week, 1 over 8 is reduced. The second week, 1 over 8 is reduced. The third week, 1 over 8 is reduced. The fourth week, 1 over 8 is reduced. So I have 1 over 8 is reduced from the amount. So I read the question once, I understand what's going on. Then I read it second time and translate. Okay, so 5 over 7 minus 1 over 8 minus 1 over 8 minus 1 over 8 minus 1 over 8. Why? Because I have 4 weeks. So I can make it easier and say 5 over 7 minus 4 times 1 over 8. Because I know each week 1 over 8 reduces. So 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it's 4 times. 4 times of this is reduced. Okay, so both of them kilogram, yes. I don't have any problem with conversion. Okay, so let me just check if here. Yeah, so yeah, I have the, just wanted to check if I wrote the unit. Okay, so now it is 5 over 7 minus 4 over 8. I simplify when I can. 5 over 7 minus 1 over 2, because it's 4 and 8. I can simplify. Okay, so now I find the least common denominator between 2 and 7, which is 14. So I multiply this one with 5 over 7 times 2 minus 1 over 2 times 7. So I multiply with 2, I multiply with 7, and this is 10 over 14 minus 7 over 14, which is 3 over 14 kilogram. Okay, I read the question once, I understand what's going on. This is the mass that I have. This is the amount each week. How many weeks? 4 weeks. So I need to reduce, I need to subtract because it reduced. How many times? 4 times. So I do, now I read it again and I just translate to math language and I do it. I pay attention to the unit, both kilogram, doesn't matter, and then I just do it mathematically. So I make this the same denominator, I multiply top and bottom with the same numbers, and then I would say after 4 weeks of treatment, the tumor is 3 over 14 kilogram. Okay? So when I read the sentence at the end, the conclusion, I understand what's going on. Remember, I know math is not your main measure, but here you are learning what to do for your professional courses. For your professional course, you have to learn how to read word problems. You understand the question, then you read it second time and translate. Then you do the question, and at the end, you need to have the answer, you need to have the sentence, you need to have the unit. The sentence should be informative. So I don't say the answer is 3 over 14 kilogram. No, no, no. I need to have the conclusion statement, which everybody, when they see the statement, they understand what was going on. How about this? A circuit wired in parallel with 3 resistors has the following equation. Okay, what is 1 over R total? So 1 over R total is 1 over R1, which is 5, plus 1 over R2, which is 10, plus 1 over R3, which is 20. All of them have the same unit, 5 ohms and 10 ohms and 20 ohms. Perfect. I don't need to worry about any conversion. Let's say I don't know what is ohm, so that's unit of resistance, resistor, I know, but let's say I don't know it. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I just have to find it mathematically. Okay, so least common denominator between 5 and 10 and 20. I need to use this one and this one. Between 5, 5, 5, I use just 1 5. Oops. Okay, what happened? So, and between 2 and 2 squared, I use 2 squared. Yes, which is 20. Okay, so what should I do now? I do 1 over R total is 1 over R5 times 4. So I times 4 with the top as well. Plus 1 over 10 times 2. I do with 2 as well for the top. Plus 1 over 20, no change. So it's 4 over 20 plus 2 over 20 plus 1 over, plus 1 over 20, which is 7 over 20. So 1 over R total is 7 over 20 ohm. So here I can write the sentence this way. In this parallel, so in this, okay, circuit wire in parallel with 3 resistors of 5 ohms, 5, 10 and 20 ohms, 1 over R total is 7 over 20 ohms. If I say what is R total, because it's 1 over, so you flip it. Okay? Yeah. So yeah, let me see what's going on here. Yeah. Okay? So read the question carefully, understand what is the type, and then do it. Practice 2 over 3 minus 4 over 9. Practice are yours. You have to do them and ask me, but I do them for you. So 2 over 3 and 4 over 9. Okay? So least common denominator between 3 and 3 squared is 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, so 2 over 3, I multiply this with 3, I multiply top as well. For the other one, I don't do any change because 9 is okay. So 6 over 9 minus 4 over 9, which is 2 over 9. Done. How about the next? Okay, 3 over 5, 5 over 10. So least common denominator between 5 and 5 multiplied 2 is 10. I need to use all prime numbers with the largest exponent. All prime numbers, I have 2 and 5, I use both of them. And powers are 1. So 3 over 5 plus 5 over 10, I don't need to do any change for the second one, but for the first one, I need to multiply top and bottom with 2. So 6 over 10 plus 5 over 10, which is 11 over 10, which is 1 over 10. I go to mixed fraction. How about this one? Let me see how many do I have. Yeah. How about this one? Okay, least common denominator 6, which is 2 times 3, and this one is 3 squared. So between this and this, I use this one, and I use this one. So it's 2 times 9, which is 18. Okay, so minus 1 over 6, I multiply with 3 top and bottom. Remember, you change 6 to 18, but you multiply top and bottom. Minus 4, I times with 2, 9, I times with 2. Which is minus 3 over 18, minus 8 over 18, which is minus 11 over 18. Because I have two negative numbers, it's like before I add them and use negative sign because I have two negative. So it's not like subtraction. No, it's like addition of two negative numbers. Okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions just to finish this Okay, so I finish it here and then I continue after. Okay, so this is video 2. Thank you. I continue after.